Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our 3 planetary conjunction video. And today we are going to be doing conjunction of Sun, Rahu and Moon. And what happens when these 3 planets are conjunct in your horoscope. And for those who don't know, the term Rahu simply means the north node of the moon, the eclipse point, the northern eclipse point of the moon. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this conjunction and what other conjunctions you have, maybe a 4 planetary conjunction, 5 planetary conjunctions, for that check out the links here. And check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including my new magazine on Destiny and Careers. And especially on the second page on the bottom, you will see exactly where each planet is placed. So, Sun, Moon, and Rahu conjunction. This is actually quite an important conjunction to have. Because what happens is, Rahu is an eclipse point. Rahu, when you see the eclipse, when the sun solar eclipse happen, that's the effect that Rahu brings in astrology. It hides something behind its force, behind its dark force. So Sun in astrology represents your soul, your personality, your ego, your self-esteem. It also represents your father, authority, government. Moon represents your emotions and feelings. Moon shows what makes you happy. Moon is your peace of mind. Whatever you do in this life through which you get peace of mind is what the job of Moon is. Moon also represents your mother. Moon represents watery things. And Rahu, besides being this eclipse point, represents the Maya, the illusion of this world that we all chase, including me. We all chase that Rahu. We all chase that fame, that, the money, the fancy cars, the admiration of the masses, magic, illusion, everything Rahu is representing. Rahu also kind of represents politics. Why? Because politics is an illusion. The candidate that you see is like a magician. He does these magic tricks to swirl you in to vote for him, while internally he might be doing something else. He's going for the favors for the billion-dollar companies who are funding him. And Rahu represents the mass. Rahu represents sudden explosion of things. So when these 3 planets are conjunct, and this conjunction, this particular video, is mainly in regards to when these planets are tightly conjunct, meaning that they're at least within 10 degrees of each other. What happens, first of all, that the person, body, mind, and soul is eclipsed. Meaning that they are not understanding who they are. They just don't get it until they turn like 32, 34, sometimes even 36. They just don't get who they are. They're in this illusion that they are something so big and huge, while they're not. Their imagination, their thinking process goes outside the boundaries of reality. This is the person who throughout life in their teen and 20 thinks they can be billionaires, trillionaires, they're better than everybody, they're doing this, they're doing that. And yet they're lost, they're not who they are. Internally, they know that they're not who they are. It's like somebody who has black magic done on them, or like has some sort of a spell on them, and they're doing something that this dark energy wants them to do, but that's not who they are. And so, person gets misdirected a lot with this kind of a conjunction. They may fall into the wrong crowd. Their personality wants to attain things through shortcuts in life. But mainly because Moon and Sun represents our parents, shows either a person has foreign parents, meaning that they have they were parented very unusually. Perhaps they were adopted. Perhaps their father and mother were living somewhere else and they stayed somewhere else from childhood. Things like that happen. Or what simply happens is that the parents may misguide this child to doing something who they are not, or may take advantage of the child, may divert the child to a different wrong path. And this can also show that that the nourishment of receiving the nourishment of father and mother gets eclipsed. And I've actually seen somebody whose mother was a drug addict, father was in jail, this person was in New York, and it kind of makes sense. I'm like, well, there you go. The parenting was eclipsed. But then there is this one other side. And this especially depends upon the sign placement of sun and moon. Because this is where Rahu will give extraordinary great results. This is where the mother and father will infuse the child with so much overblown illusion of the world that they think they're the king of the world. Meaning parenting of the parenting by the mother and father will be that of where the mother will be like, no, you're the best, you're always the greatest, you're this, you're that, and the dad does the same thing. You know, like sometimes you meet people who are just so delusional and they think they're the best because their parents infuse them. Yet on the positive side, they become overly confident. Too confident for their own good. They're the ones who are not afraid because their fear is now eclipsed. You know, when you should be fearful of something, that part is eclipsed. They're like, what is fear? I don't care about anything. I'll go out and fight whoever. I will do whatever it takes. I'm too confident. So it kind of does the over exaggeration of this side. But naturally though, Rahu is the shadow of Saturn. And this is why Rahu brings unnecessary fear as well. Meaning you will notice with this kind of a conjunction that a person usually kind of suffers from anxiety or panic attacks. When you just don't know, like, why are you panicked? There's nothing wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. There's no police out there to get you, no helicopter above the head. You're sitting watching TV and suddenly something gets triggers. That's Rahu. That's unnecessary fear. Saturn's real fear. Whenever Rahu fear comes in, that is unnecessary. It's an illusion. You know when people see things, become a bit schizophrenic? They become a little bit delusional about what they see. That is this combination where the personality, soul, ego, and mind are seeing things that are not real. And these people, usually when they have this, they get cured of it between their mid-30s, early to mid-30s, usually by themselves. Because remember, it's just an eclipse only lasts for 5 minutes. You were born when the eclipse was there. That means it will slowly be removing itself. And once it removes itself, you'll be like, oh my God, where was I? What was I doing? And just to understand, Rahu is always there with sun and moon. It's not like the eclipse is removed, so after 35 years, Rahu will be moved to a different degree. No, it's still there. But the thing is, you suddenly now know who you are and what you should be doing. Yet Rahu, what happens then, kind of helps you enterprise your ideas. If you were lost, wrong crowd, doing drugs, whatnot, suddenly you realize, oh my God, I should be an entrepreneur. Maybe, I should have a marijuana dispensary. How it's now legal in the United States. Many people have it. Many people now opening it up. Perhaps they want to go towards that. They're taking their negativity and turning that into a legal enterprise business. So the mind, the idea becomes very unusual, unique. When the eclipse is removed, you get the most unorthodox ideas. If everybody's out there chatting on Yahoo, as we once were, You're the person who'll be like, why don't I create a social network where people can log in, have their friends, put stuff on their wall, blah, blah, blah. Billion dollar idea. So this is what you have to understand with this. And the best thing to do when you have this kind of a conjunction is to, and this is something I recommend, which is kind of a universal remedy, not an astrological remedy, but go to a temple, Hindu temple, and pour milk on shivling on 1st and 15th of the month. The very first time you go, just pour 2-liter milk on the shivling. On the 15th, you can pour water, and then every 1st of every month, pour milk, and then 15th water, and just leave some money in the temple. This is going to be the power of Shiva that's going to, he's like the manager of everything, right? He's the manager of Kal, planets, galaxies. So instead of trying to do some remedy with gemstones and yaganas and whatnot that will not work and may not work most likely, just go straight to the source, the manager, the president. Say, look, I need your help. Help me, show me the right direction in life. Show me the way to prosperity and a happy life. And he'll be like, okay, you've come to me, fine. I'll talk to my employee. I'll talk to Saturn and Rahu. Okay, you guys come here, help this guy out, give him what he wants. Boom, that's how it works. And I've actually posted it on my Facebook. I remember last year when I told somebody to pour milk on shivling because they had a very close conjunction with Rahu. Within like 30 days, they were out of their unnecessary fear. They were feeling really good. They had brilliant ideas coming to their head. They weren't themselves. They feel like, who am I? Who is this person? Because of the fact that source energy was like, finally, just started listening to this person. Now, it's just this code breaking that you do by pouring milk on shivling. I don't know why you do it. I don't know how it works, why it works. It just works. You know, it just does. So guys, this is my analysis of conjunction of Rahu, Moon, and Sun. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your planetary placements are, what kind of conjunctions you have, if you have this conjunction, for that, check out the links here. Check out my books, astrological report, and consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you on Wednesday with our aspect of Mars. Interesting one. See ya.